How's it going, guys? Cameron here, it's Canadian Gamer, coming at you with a quick video. Today we are going to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, which just got announced today. Everybody and their mother is talking about it, so I thought I'd throw my hat into the ring. Couple of other housekeeping notes. The first thing is, in case you have been living under a rock and you didn't hear, David Lynch, the famous film director who I'm obviously a huge fan of, and I'm in the middle of reading his autobiography. He passed away today. I'm not sure if he was 78 or 79, but yeah, he passed away, unfortunately. Now, he had been a heavy smoker for most of his life. So, in actual fact, I was surprised he was able to live as long as he did, because smoking can take people at a much younger age. Nonetheless, extremely shocked to hear that today. I found out about it through Dads and Lads Gaming. He DM'd me on Twitter and let me know, but I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Couldn't believe it. Wasn't expecting it. Definitely, when celebrities pass away, sometimes you think about it for a minute and you move on with your day. But other ones, they hit harder than others. I know one that hit me hard, and it had to do with smoking as well, was Patrick Swayze. Huge fan of Patrick Swayze. When he passed away, that one was brutal. Another one was Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. Chris Cornell. But David Lynch is another one that's just brutal. Just brutal. So, the other thing I want to talk about, good old PK in the Universe posted a video today. And to summarize it up, he thought maybe he had mold in his basement and it smelled funky down there, and he didn't really address it. And then it came to a headway, and then he finally looked into it, I guess, over the last couple of weeks, and come to find out he has black mold in his basement, or he's got mold, and it was not coming from like the corner of a wall or anything. It was coming from like the rafters, he was saying. Listen, I could be a huge dick right now. I could be like, oh, this guy's getting a taste of karma and all the rest of it. This is a guy that went out of his way to get me banned from speedrun.com, but I'm not gonna go that route. I feel bad for the guy. To think that him and his family have been breathing in that mold, and once mold goes airborne, it could be all through the house. I hope that guy is able to get that issue resolved with his house, and hopefully it doesn't cripple him financially. And most importantly, for his and his family's sake, hopefully they get their lungs checked out, because mold is not something you want to joke around about. Breathing in mold and things like that can lead to cancer, and we don't want that to happen to anybody. So hopefully, knock on wood, that guy gets his house under control. But again, we keep coming back to this. Metal Jesus had an issue like this a couple of years ago. The infamous basement leak video. For God's sakes, guys, if you're going to build a games room, and I know this isn't always an option, but like I'm upstairs right now on the second floor. Don't put your games room in the basement, okay? The basement is there to do your laundry, okay? It's not there to have your man cave. It's just not. When you've got a leak, you got a pipe that's leaking or something, the water goes from the top of the house in most cases, and it goes down, right? So you want to be mindful of that, right? Usually the water ends up at the ground level at some point. So hopefully that guy gets that straightened out there, and like I said, hopefully it's contained within the basement and he doesn't have to get a complete renovation on his house, have to stay at a hotel or something. Hopefully not. I feel bad for that guy. So PK, I know we don't always see eye to eye, and you're not always one to take criticism well, but hopefully it's not as serious as it sounds. So yeah, hopefully his games room can be brought up to the main floor. Maybe he's got a spare room. I don't know. But yeah, feel sorry for that guy. I'm sorry you're going through that, PK. I really do. I'm not just saying that. I feel horrible that has happened to you. I don't know why that has happened to you. I have no idea. Nobody deserves that to happen to them, to have to go through that kind of stress. But I hope it's nothing major. That's all I have to say about that. So, talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, it's going to be short and brief. We heard rumblings that there may have been the potential of a teaser trailer or a release announcement this week, and lo and behold, it happened. It happened today, and for some reason, maybe it's just me, but it feels like it fell on deaf ears. It just came and went. YouTubers are talking about it, but for the most part, I'm not sure. It just doesn't really have a lot of excitement around it. I'm not quite sure why. So what are my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 without getting into a technical breakdown, because I'm not John Lennon by any means. So I like the size of the original Switch. I'm not sure about the fact that the new one is bigger. I'm kind of like MJR, what he said in his video, his eyes are starting to, his eyesight's starting to deteriorate as he gets older. Same with me. I have to wear my reading glasses when I play my Switch. But that being said, I feel like it's just the right size. I don't like handhelds that are too small. I don't like it when they're too big. I'm surprised on the trailer Nintendo opted to go with just the kind of like the black, grayish black console, and they didn't show it off with these Joy-Cons, with this color scheme, if you will, because I feel like this color scheme is very iconic to the Nintendo Switch. So I was kind of surprised that they did that. I think it is cool that you can use the Joy-Cons as like a mouse. That's really interesting, especially if you're into point and click adventures, or even, walking simulators, as you guys like to call them, or even a first-person shooter. So that's, or even a light gun game. Again, you know how those games play on the Switch, right? It might be more entertaining to play a game like that using the Joy-Con as a mouse and clicking instead of using it like it normally would be used connected to the Switch. You guys know what I mean. Aside from that, you guys that are interested in one, there's been rumblings that it might be as powerful or almost as powerful as an Xbox Series S. Even if you wanted to get one, you won't be able to get one, unless I guess maybe if you're able to pre-order it. But as far as walking into a brick and mortar store, like the scalpers are going to be going crazy on this thing. It's going to be the hottest item of the 2025 holiday season. You won't be able to get a Switch for a long time. They will be sold out unless you want to resort to paying scalper prices, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I am in no rush to get a Switch 2. By the time I get a Switch 2, I don't even know if I'll get one. I'm still thinking about maybe upgrading my Switch to an OLED Switch. That's where I'm at. So the Switch 2, it is backwards compatible. But I'm personally, and I would love to hear Square Pegs' opinion on the Switch 2, to hear what he has to say about it. But like I have enough Nintendo Switch games, not in my collection, but on my list of games that I'm interested in picking up, that I'm in no rush to go out and get a Switch 2 and get Switch 2 games. And more to the point, I imagine, even if obviously the Switch 2, it is more powerful, but I imagine a lot of the games that will be released for it are not necessarily going to take full advantage of what that power has to offer. A lot of the games will be cross-gen, or games that could simply be played on the original Switch, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not super excited about it. It looks like it's more of the same. I'm surprised Nintendo did actually end up calling it the Switch 2. But it does make sense from a marketing, from a business standpoint. Don't mess with what success you're having with this console, right? Why would you change the name, right? Just keep it Switch 2 so you're not confusing the consumers. So it is exciting, I guess, but I'm perfectly content with the original Switch. And I feel like even if Nintendo had not released the Switch 2, they could have kept on going with the Switch the way that it is, because as weak and as archaic as the hardware is, it's still more than capable of playing a lot of these, well, let's just call it as it is, excellent first-party games from Nintendo that Nintendo is able to curate and work with a lot of other developers to release games for the Switch that, if you were playing those games on any other console, it would look kind of silly, but when you're playing it on the Switch, it doesn't matter, right? Because a lot of times with this console, it's kind of like the Wii. It's not necessarily about the power and the graphics and the frame rate. It's more about the fun factor, right? So that's it. I don't have much to say about it. All I got to say is I know there's a lot of people out there that are foaming at the mouth to know more about the Switch 2 or pick up this. Is it coming out in April? It's coming out just around the corner. But it's an exciting time for those who are into just the base model Switch, because there's going to be a lot of gamers out there that are trying to flip their OLED models. They're trying to flip maybe all their old games so they can move on to a Switch 2. And that's the best time for someone like me to swoop right into the classifieds, Facebook Marketplace. Ooh, look at this. Look at this OLED Switch here. It's $150. This guy just wants to get rid of it with 15 games because he really wants to. Or he just picked up a Switch 2. And then I'm the person that will swoop in and pick up that stuff. That's how I roll. I'm always like a generation or two behind. So that's it. Just a short video. Just wanted to give my initial impressions on what we know. We don't know much about the Switch 2. Are you guys excited? Are you going to pre-order it? Are you kind of on the fence about it? Or are you really not that excited about it? Let me know in the comments below. I think maybe if I do get one, I'll wait until there's an OLED model, because it's my understanding the initial model that's being released is not going to be an OLED model. So keep that in mind. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.